All right, all right. Good afternoon or good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. Before we get started on today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications. And if you could, please leave this video a like. So right now we're talking about the disturbance right now in the Gulf of Mexico right now. Overnight, started forming overnight. As you guys can see, that we have our future storm called Tropical Bill right now. Has a little bit of wind shear and African dust west of it. So, and the Bahamas and all that, and the Caribbean Sea and all that. So, as we get on today's video, this is what the satellite imagery looks like. As you guys can see, looking pretty good. Has, as you guys see, has weakened a little bit. That's just due to the wind shear that we have in the Gulf of Mexico right now in this area. So, as we erase this and go on to our 5-day Atlantic graphic, Atlantic. So this is the Atlantic side. As you guys say, they gave it a 20% chance of forming in the next 5 days and a 0% chance of forming in the next 48 hours. So, like I said, if you guys want to read this, just pause the video right here. If you guys want to see it, it is expected to form in the late next week or even early next week. It all depends. And then we have another storm back here that has a 40% chance, but that's going to be on the Gulf. That's going to be on the Pacific side of Mexico. So that's not really going to hurt nothing. Really, it's not going to make landfall anywhere. But it's pretty nice to see that. So as you guys see, that we are expecting this to make landfall around the 19th. It's scheduled for around the 20th, 19th, 21st between there. I'll give it all the way to the 19th, all the way to the 23rd for a landfall. So as we wait for this to load, we're going to look at our wind shear map as we see right here. So if we look at our wind shear map, as you guys can see, that here's the Gulf of Mexico. Here's if I label this out for you guys, so we got the Gulf of Mexico right here, Florida right here. Made a big mistake right there. Florida right there. Actually, you know what? I got another map that's actually gonna work fine. Excuse me, guys. Sorry if I've been doing that all day. Feeling a little sick on the sick side, so. Alright, so here's our wind shear as of right now with the 8:04 a.m. A little bit old, but as you guys can see that we have a small bit of wind shear, which is not really going to affect it too much, but still it'll have a big play on wherever the storm's gonna hurt it. It will hurt it a tad bit, but you guys see, got a storm right here, and then we have our strongest wind shear in this area, which this wind shear might be moving out, but if it was forming in this area right here, I would be a little bit more saying that it probably won't form because the wind shear is too thick in this area and too wide. Unlike this one, it's just a small thing of going towards weak, pretty much. Small wind shear will not hurt a hurricane too much, or even a tropical storm. It will be able to bear through it and form still through it, but it won't be. It will hurt it just a tad bit, not as bad as wind shear back here. So if we look at our moist area / dry air, so as we wait for this to load up, so as we wait for this to load up, here's our slow development possible in a few days, and then here's our satellite imagery, our tropical update. Let's go to the temperatures real fast for this. In the 80s, pretty much enough to sustain a tropical storm, support it. But now if we go into our dry air, then we'll go into the Sahara Desert air. So as you guys can see, we have dry air back here, which is common. Very moist air in Gulf of Mexico. Looks pretty nice, so it's going to be able to form in here since it's got very moist air, or just moist air, should I say. So we scroll down to here and look at our tropical intensity. index. So as you guys can see, we got red right here, which is highly favorable, and then green, where it is highly unfavorable. As you guys see, this is where we're going to see forming and all that. I'm surprised over here is not red, but I'm just surprised to see that. So that's gonna be that right there, and then we're gonna look at the European. So um, as you guys can see that all the storms are green. That you know we're gonna see it form in here in the next 5 days. But as we go on into June 19th, we can see it not really saying it's not going to be a really strong storm. If we go back to yesterday's run, the 0Z of 10 saying the same thing. But now if we go into the ninth, shows it stronger, the 0Z of the ninth. So it all just depends how we see this. So as you guys can see that the ninth was saying it was going to be strong. This yesterday was saying it's a little bit weak and then forming eventually a little bit more towards the Mexico coast, and then today's run is saying a little more into the Gulf of Mexico, which I think the wind shear is going to hurt it a tad bit. That's why it's not going to be forming in this area. I think once we start to get close to landfall, that's when we're going to start seeing it wrap up and start showing a little bit more intensity. So we checked the GFS, go back a little bit, and we're just gonna put this one on to just rain because I actually like to see. All right, so as you guys can see, nothing right now. You see it, and then once we start to get into we keep going. As we keep on going, but the GFS does take it more. The surprising thing is the GFS is really taking it over here, forming over here, which is kind of interesting because if you look at yesterday's run, or yeah, today's run around 12, it was showing the same area as the European. That's so. If you guys look up here, I'm gonna show you because this might be a little confusing how I'm switching into different runs. So this is 6Z. So this is brand new around 6 a.m. and then I'll switch into the 0Z, which is 12 p.m. from last night. As you guys see, and then this is gonna be yesterday, 18Z. So as you guys can see, like I said, the GFS has it more going towards the west than it was, and now it's saying it's going to be right on top of the little piece that sticks off of Mexico. So as we keep on playing this, yesterday was a little bit more. Like I said, I think that wind shear is going to have a lot to deal with the storm forming in this middle right now because, in my opinion, like I said, the wind shear is not up here, so it's going to have time to form. So this was around the 18th. We could see a good tropical storm, very nice, weak. Maybe it does just tend to say it's gonna get weak, but if we look at yesterday's run or this last night's run, you guys can see it was making landfall at 995. So none of these models are not right yet. I wouldn't go off anything until 2 days. It's not going to be a hurricane. It's going to be a very weak tropical storm. Just a very first storm just to see of the year. The Anna one, in my opinion, should never have been named. But that's my opinion. So as it keeps on going, you guys can see it does get carried by a front up here, eventually going up, and then it will be affecting some people for like Florida and all that. You guys, because if it makes landfall like this, I said anyone is managed anywhere from I don't even count this right. Anywhere from here all the way to here is probably has a good chance of making landfall. This whole entire coast right here has a good chance of making landfall. We don't know exactly it's going to make landfall yet because it's another 10 days out we're talking about. This is around the 18th. A lot of models are saying it's not going to make landfall until 19th. A lot of models are saying that. If we go to the CMC, which is not the best model out there, like I said, it's kind of agreeing with the GFS what it said last night. But if we look at last night's run, last night's run or yesterday's run, this is around 12Z. Like I said, the CMC is not the best. You can see that this is a 0Z from the 10th. You see nothing. Then it shows something. And then in yesterday's run, we're showing that, or today's run I met, you guys can see that it's a lot stronger and making landfall in Texas. Like I said, we don't know where it's going to be making landfall. It's almost impossible to see where we're going to see this landfall take place. So that's we wrapped up the video today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button below. And I do ask if you stay with your local weatherman for your guys' safety on tornadoes and all that. So make sure you stay safe and all that. Hopefully you guys have a nice day.